Shalom. Sorry, just sending a message. Shalom. How are you? This will not be a very long one, but it will be fun. Before we get on to the subject of Jesus, Saviour of humanity, I just wanted to share a little something that was passed to me by Danny Diesel. Greetings everyone in chat, by the way. I see you all there. Right, let me make that window small. Let me close this window. Right, and make me, yeah, all good. This is just so good. Let's share this window. What is this? Let's watch some of this. There's some builders building something. Yeah, there's a crane and another thing. Oops. Pretty interesting, whatever that is. Oh, door opening. Oh, look, thing being lifted. Let's see, what is this thing that's being lifted? Huh, it was kind of flimsy. Look at it, wobbling all over the place. I mean, that's pretty flimsy. Look at all those seams, too. Looks like a thing that's been made out of very kind of small sheets. folded together at the seams. Huh, it's interesting. What's going on with that? Oh, I think they're going to put it on top. That's it. Yep, there they go, putting it on top. Look at that wobble. I mean, at least it's not cardboard, right? Look at it. Yeah. You might have gathered by now that this is a rocket being assembled. That's right, one of SpaceX's rockets. Yeah, gonna go to space, that. Yeah, reusable too. You might think, I don't think so. The best way of making something hermetic is not to have lots and lots of seams. I mean, just logically, you might arrive at that conclusion, that perhaps the best way to make something hermetic is to have the minimum number of seams. Here it looks like they have almost gone for the optimum or maximum number of seams. They could have more, okay? Let's face it, they really could have more seams, but what you're seeing isn't a joke. It's not, well, it really is not a joke, okay? I was going to say it's also not part of a circus, but I can't quite say that, not seriously, because it looks like it is part of a circus. Yeah, see how they're holding it together with pegs? Okay, so they're holding it together with pegs, right? And then somebody inside, okay, there's somebody inside of that pushing it out, like, and then, I don't know, stapling it to, I don't know, something, probably staples, okay? But as you see, kind of flimsy. And there will be globelings watching. Hello, globelings. There'll be, look at all those seams too. There'll be globelings going, it doesn't matter if there's lots of seams. Right, so let's move ahead. Right, well, I can tell you what. I would bet that that thing won't fly. Okay? I think that this thing will not fly. I think it will probably just like explode unless it collapses first. I just think it would just like explode, you know, because of all the extra seams and like the lack of rigidity, you know. So seams and flexibility. Oh, it's not a good one. If there were seams and strict rigidity, that would be different. But no. It's seams and lots of flexibility. So, let's see what happened. Let's watch. Oh, that's what happened. Look, let's watch it again. Watch. Boom. There you go. That's what happened. Let's watch it again. Yeah. I mean, who'd have thunk it? Who would have guessed that that's what would happen? Let's watch it again. Straight away. Yeah, there you go. Pieces flying off immediately. It collapsed. You know, because of the flexibility. Look, boom. Straight away. Like, not flew for a bit and then, no, like straight away. Didn't even take off the ground before it collapsed. Watch. Boom. Yep. Now, let's see what it looked like real time. You'll only see like half a second maybe, okay? Because this that you just watched was not real time, okay? This that you're seeing is not quite real time. You will see real time in a second in this little clip. Oh, let me turn the volume up. That was slow-mo. Now next comes real time. Watch.
During cryogenic test, here is what Elon Musk said just a couple hours before the explosion happened.
Boom! There you go. Okay. So, like, this really is not real time. Okay? Because what I've done here is I have doubled the speed at which the slow-mo video was played. But I think the slow-mo might have been a little bit more than half speed. Okay? So, let's watch it again. Boom! Good Lord, who would have thought that that would happen? So, after that, this is what was left, and here comes the scrap man. Those are the salvage guys coming to take away the scrap. Fantastic! Absolutely fantastic. It's just absolutely awesome. Don't you think? I do. I think it's fantastic that people, Globelings, are being sold that. Yeah, and if any of them go, like, it just picture Res Rhetoric and Sean Hufford and Conspiracy Cats and Simon Dan and Wolfie 6020 all sat together watching the building of that thing with all those pieces just held together with rivets, or well, first with pegs, all of them watching it, and at least some of them going, that doesn't look like it'll fly, but not being able to say it, because if they say, that'll never fly, they'll all turn around and say, what are you saying? Are you saying we've been hoodwinked? True story. Really? Okay, all of these Globelings have to think that that thing had the possibility of flying. You might remember, some of you, when a flight was scheduled to fly over the South Pole. Not by me, way before. A flight to go over the South Pole. And they were selling tickets, $20,000 per seat, to fly over the South Pole. And Globelings were coming to us Pondlings going, hey, why don't you get a ticket? Then you'll be able to see that it's a ball. And we were saying, it's not going to happen. It's a fraud. It's not going to happen. Okay? It's a fraud. But one Globeling bought a ticket, and it turned out it was a fraud. Yeah. So when that happened, and we were saying, it's a fraud, it's not going to take place, and they're like, yes it is, yes it is. Turned out it didn't take place. We could be watching the building of that rocket going, that'll never fly, and they would all be sitting there going, yes it bloody will. And then it goes and doesn't. Oh dear. Just dear. It's just fantastic. So let me see. I'm just amazed, and I'm very happy, you know, it really made me laugh. It made me laugh so much that I thought, okay, I'm going to do another stream before I go back to the book proper, which I'm going to do. I am going to go back to the book. Right, now I've got the chat open. Hi everyone. Oh, somebody has highlighted my name. Oh, over red I see in the chat. Danny Diesel, hey, what is that? Phil Jacko 84 asks, have I ever seen a straight rainbow? I personally have not. I've seen images of them, but no, I have not seen a straight rainbow. But cool. Because he's saying that he saw one. Right. So I am going to go back to writing the book. In the last hangout that I made, oh wait, let me fix my collar. In the last hangout that I made, a series of very well-known globe trolls came saying, no, you didn't think up these filaments. They were thought up beforehand many, many times by many, many people. All of them discovered them first, even though they weren't observed until after I wrote my book. And even though they are necessarily a part of my cosmology, whilst it's problematic to their cosmology. But never mind that. One of these well-known trolls gives links. Look at all these articles published before your book was written. But you can go into the Wayback Machine and see that those articles were placed there after my book was published. So they're having a problem with that, okay? And they say, no, look, there's all kinds of things written about these filaments beforehand. They don't quite refer to them as filaments. They might refer to them as like networks or maps or I don't know. But yeah, we would now refer to them as filaments. Okay. The book I'm writing now is going to blow their cosmology entirely out of the water. And what will happen after I've published it, people will look, people will consider, people will ponder. The people who would say, oh no, all of this was already thought of before by other people, will not be able to say that because it hasn't been thought by other people. It has not been written about. It has not been published. It is not anywhere to be found until I write it. When I write it, then people will be able to look and after a few months find references to it that will have been invented and inserted, and the Wayback Machine will show they were inserted after I published my book. Same thing over again, okay? Absolutely fantastic. But what I will do this time is I will do a search for what I'm writing about. I will make a short video of me doing a search all over the place, scouring for what I'm discussing. Oh, it's not available in these philosophical journals, not available in these cosmological or these astrophysics, or oh, it's not available anywhere. And I will have that video by the side. So that when the Globians say, oh no, this is already thought, even though, by the way, it's 100% not been thought. When they come with that, I'll just show them my video. Saying, well, it wasn't available before I wrote my freaking book. So, I've been having a well of a time addressing these people. Not according to the Wayback Machine, it wasn't. These people saying, oh no, it was already, you're a plagiarist. You're plagiarizing other people's ideas. Like, where were these ideas written? Oh, in places. Can you link to any of them? Yes. You're linking to something that was published after my book, you moron. Anyway, so now I'm going to go back to the point at hand. And what I'm going to do is, well, you'll see from what I'm going to read, which is something I wrote, about Jesus. And I thought of doing something, well, I'll just read what I wrote and you'll get why I'm not really going to go into it further. Okay. Okay, so this is what I wrote. I have one more live stream in me before I go back to the book. It'll be called Jesus, Saviour of Humanity. It'll just be me pointing out how Jesus is keeping Christians from Muslims, from Hindus, from Buddhists, from Zoroastrians, and from Jews. And how if Jesus had not come along, then there would have only been Jews and a bunch of cockamamie religions. Oh wait, that's what we've got. I'll be pointing out to the Christian FE that Christ is putting rational people off FE. So which is more important? The truth that the earth is flat and you can go and find it for yourself, or their belief? Because their belief is putting off people from looking at the truth. And best of all, FE is growing much faster than Christianity. Christianity is slowly shrinking. FE is growing massively. Sorry, FE Christians. And that's because FE is true. Then, as I wrap up, I'll say, and in a moment, I'll be back with the same stuff, only with Mohammed in place of Jesus. And I will say the exact same things. And after that, I'll do it all again with Abraham. But not with a Haru Mazda, obviously. And I mean that. Christianity is putting people off FE. When we're all living underground, the religions will not be a good thing for living underground. Okay, the truth will be a good thing for living underground, but not religion. Religion does not bring people together. It keeps people separated. Now, just to point out, in all these comments that people were saying, oh, plagiarized, other people thought of filaments first. It's like, yeah, the word filaments existed. I did not make that word up. I made up the word holoprism, which did not exist before. Now, filaments, of course, have existed. Okay, a thread is a filament. Now, and that's a thread for sewing. One of the people who made a comment says, I have a problem with you too, but I do use your map and I don't understand why other people aren't using your map and explaining things like that. And I said, not using it because they're stupid. But he says, if you were to look into, you get things wrong about Muhammad all the time. If you looked into the Quran, you'd find that they describe, in the Quran, it describes the filaments which make the day and night, like you describe in your book, before the sun came along. So, I have a Quran here. I'm going to ask the person who wrote that message. I did reply and say, would you give me a reference so I can look it up in this one? It's a slightly different version. This is by Mohammed M. Pickthall, this translation, so that I can check. I don't doubt that it will be there if it's in his Quran. Now, if it's in this Quran and in his Quran, and I had not read it, then the way it arrived at me is from or through the collective unconscious. I'm not some mega genius. I just notice stuff and I think. Okay, so if it turns out that it's in the Quran, it will blow the Bible out of the water. See, Christians, see how Christianity divides? It would blow the Bible out of the water if it describes my filaments in the Quran. It will also blow all of those filament guys who are saying, oh, these filaments were already predicted by cosmologists, out of the water too. So, let's wait and see. I hope the guy does come with a list of references to where I can look it up. Otherwise, I'm going to have to read the whole thing. And it's not that interesting. And it does actually say things like, it says, you misquote from the Quran. And really? Did I really misquote? Does it not say that the sun sets in a muddy pond? Does it not say that when Muhammad was asked, where does the sun go? He said, I followed it one time and turned out that it just went into a muddy pond. Does it not say that? Yes, it does say that. Does it also say, wait for it, if your wife does not obey you, rebuke her and instruct her again. If she again does not obey you, rebuke her a second time and instruct her again. If a third time she does not obey you, strike her, because a dog that does not obey you is not going to respond to arguments, kind of thing. Now, it could say, if your wife doesn't obey you, rebuke her and instruct her again. If a second time she doesn't obey you, rebuke her and instruct her again. If a third time she doesn't obey you, rebuke her and tell her to go and find her own food and shelter. Huh? Could say that. Not bitch slap her, which is what it says now. So, just that point that out, Mr. Muslim. Okay? Okay. All peace and benevolent Mohammed and Allah and all of that shit. So, some of you Christians were going, oh yeah, this time he's had a go at the Muslims. The whole load of it is all of the religions are not true. There were people trying to make sense of the world, trying to tell stories for all various kinds of reasons, but they're not true. Now, that some of them might have gone, I think it might be filaments. Doesn't mean that the rest, because that's true, that the rest is true too. No, it just means that they had a glimpse of the collective unconscious. They make Muhammad real, or Jesus real, or Abraham real, or Allah, or Yahweh, or Yahweh, or Jehovah, or, well, yes, it does make a Haru Master real, just like it makes Iluvata real. And I say that in jest. Lover of Rock, I see in the chat. Welcome back. So there you go. Just thought I'd point that out because I have so many people coming to me going, Antonio, dude, these Christian flat earthers are very off-putting, and these are flat earthers coming to me saying this. I'm not going around going, hey, gonna take a vote. How many people find the Christian flat earthers a bit annoying? No, people are just coming up to me going, geez, keep everything I look, everywhere I look, whoever's talking FE, Christians. Oh yeah, I thought of one more thing I would show. Just realised. Oh, damn it, did I close the window? No, it's here. Right, give me a second. Jeez, that was funny. That... Oh. Right, give me a sec. Let me share window again. And then I'll show you what I'm doing. And then I'm going to come in the chat, and then I'm going to wrap up. Right, here it is. Oh, I mean, it's so funny that it bears showing again, so I'm going to show it again for some of the people who arrived late. Here, watch this being built. This is a rocket being built. Yeah, I think that's a bit flimsy. Look at how flimsy that looks. Look at all those seams for a thing that should be hermetic. You know, look at all those seams and look at how flexible it is. Hello, seams and flexibility don't go very well together. In fact, it's almost guaranteed to make this thing not work. Guess what happened when they tried to fly this thing? It immediately exploded and did not work. Gosh, if only somebody with a little bit of... I can't help think this is being done to wake people up while, like, I don't know, burning the minds of those who are so hoodwinked into thinking that this could possibly fly. So on the one hand, snapping a lot of people out of it, you know, like astronauts saying, we never went to space, you know, cosmonauts, we've never been to space. Snapping people out of it on the one hand, whilst on the other hand, making the retards even more retarded. Like, yes, it can fly! That kind of thing. Yeah? Like, really, this is just astounding. Right, let me show when, here. Look at, this is, once it's built. Hey, I can see a lot of, well, misalignment. Can you see how that reflection is not straight? Yeah, if all of those seams and all of those segments were straight, guess what would happen with that light reflection? It would be one continuous light. Can you see how it's staggered? Can you see how it's staggered? You know what that means? Dumbasses. Anyway, so I just wanted to show that again, and then come here. Because I wanted to show my comment to this. Pause. Hope it's paused. Yes, it's paused. Oops, just pause. Jeranism, and this is going back to the Christian boring flat earth stuff. Jeranism Friday Lounge number 16, 8 inches with Trinity 4. Poor Trinity 4 hoodwinked into joining failing Globebusters and Jeranism crew, who are now the only thing that can resolve to is say, okay, we are Christians, to try to gather the Christians to themselves. Okay, we are Christians, and we always were, and we now see Jesus is the Lord, right? This is 2020. They have a 3-hour, 25-minute hangout discussing 8 inches per mile squared in 2020. So I wrote, and I hope my comment is there, oh yes it is, although I'm pretty sure nobody else can see it. So I'm going to read it. This is how Jesus divides. And there are other divisors or dividers or people who like to divide and conquer and just separate, who are not Christians. Jesus, let's not forget, Jesus was a Jew. Okay, so anyway, 8 inches. Again, geez, are you guys lost? It's 2020, not 2015. Ah well, what did you expect when you have gatekeepers like Wise/DITRH in your midst? I warned you about it. Do you remember, Jaren? Remember you arguing that he didn't control you? Well, now you're seeing the results, which is what I told you you'd see. No progress. I'm going to editorialize now. I told him that what would happen would be no progress, because I realized Wise was a controller when Wise would immediately interrupt my work on the map whenever he heard that I was working on the map, which means I would be working on the map, I would communicate with Oakley or Steer or somebody else that I was working on the map, and then my Skype would call me and it would be Wise. Just wanted to, shoot the breeze. Right. Anyway, 8 inches. Meanwhile, in the real world, what I predicted in the Book of the Sun, that the celestial bodies result from filament nexus/junctions, has now been observed by astronomers who are now scrabbling to explain them. Meanwhile, you guys, 8 inches. Pathetic. And it is pathetic. And I would ask any of you guys to go there and see whether my comment is visible. Because I would wager that it is not visible, and that the reason it is not visible is that Wise has people there making sure that Jeranism doesn't see such comments. So, this divisiveness, which is obvious, a tactic that's going to be employed to slow the thing down, to control the thing. You can point it out, but if you let it really get to you, then it slows you down. Which is why I say, this is my last hangout before I go back to the book. I will not be replying to comments. Knock yourselves out, Globelings. I will from time to time be coming and going delete, 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 delete. All of the bullshitty, nonsense, misleading, lying comments. Okay? So knock yourselves out if you want. Your comments won't stay there very long. In fact, from time to time I'll take a break from the book, go and just have fun deleting comments. Okay? So really, knock yourselves out. And now I'm going to go in the chat to see how everybody's doing. Just my favourite part of doing these, by the way. I see everybody in the chat. That's really cool. I see a couple of comments. Oh, Cosmic Surfer, a comment wanting clearings. Everybody keep an eye for sock accounts from Hawkins. Oh yes, right, Cosmic Surfer. And you'll probably hate me for this, but I'm making you a moderator. That's it. I just looked at Danny D, so I thought, should I make him? No, that's it. Nobody else. Now it's all on you. Cosmic Surfer, you're the only mod, okay? And if you ever want to stop being a mod so you can relax and enjoy it more, then just let me know. Yeah, and just to let people know, sometimes sock accounts come in pretending to be flat earthers and trying to cause trouble, and people are in the chat saying to me whilst I'm streaming, Antonio, get rid of them, they're just... But I'm not seeing it because I'm streaming. Afterwards though, I see the chat, I see them, and I just ban them. And then all of the comments are gone. So what they were trying to achieve didn't really work. Disarrayed atheists put me off atheism. They put me off atheism too. It's like, God, what kind of retarded person thinks that all of this place is a thoughtless place? What kind of stupid person thinks that? And for the people out there, Christians and non-Christians, going, but Antonio, don't you understand? Like, I understand so much better than you that I don't need an avatar. Do you understand that? I don't need an avatar to access what the avatar gives you the illusion of accessing. Do you understand? That's why I'm so honest. That's why I expose things as they should be. Not stay quiet and say, let Jesus deal with it. Which some of you do. Christians. Some of you Christians see something wrong and go, Jesus will deal with that. But at other times go, oh, I better deal with this. Huh? That's hypocrisy. Jesus wouldn't like that. Anyway. I'm now looking in the chat. Gary Clegg, I like winding globalings up. It's easy. It really is, and it's getting so much easier. By the way, have you guys seen the growth of FE in Brazil? Brazil. Massive, massive numbers of flat earthers. Why? Because in Brazil, apart from other things, they have a double sunrise twice a year. I say twice a year, it's not specifically twice a year. It might be 4 or 5 times a year, but it's always 2 or 3 consecutive days, and then 2 or 3 consecutive days at the other side of the cycle. 2 suns, and then one of them just vanishes, and the other one continues. Like, not camera glare, people see 2 suns, and then one just goes, they're gone. Okay, I can explain it. I explain it in the Book of the Sun. To do with the magnetic anomaly that brings the stratosphere, the magnetosphere, down to approximately 100 miles from the surface of the Earth. Okay, that causes a reflection of the sun. Okay, the sun is only reflection. The sun is only glare, that better said, than reflection, because reflection means it's reflecting something else. It's not reflecting anything else, it's only glare. And this glare can be bifurcated by a kink in the field where it's a glare. Anyway, oh, Danny Diesel, good for pointing in this. Thanks for pointing this out. Apollo has plastic helmets. That's right, this is another one for the Globalings. The Apollo helmets that the astronauts walked around with on the moon, the first, so the thing closest to their face, you know, they had various different layers. The one closest to the face was not just plastic, it was also liftable, which means it was not sealed. Danny Diesel found that. An 1/8 of an inch thick plastic that melts at very low temperatures. The whole thing is just such a sham, such a complete sham. And it's just, to me now, it really is only funny. Because it's like people have had time to question and arrive at conclusions. And they're not doing. The ones that are not doing, it's time to laugh. To go, okay, dude, you've had plenty of opportunities, you know. And that's how I take it. Saludarte. Saludos. Yeah, it's just like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious. This is getting very, very funny. Don't think so. Look at this building of this rocket which immediately exploded. Like you couldn't tell it was gonna explode. I'm looking in the chat. P900 cool pics. One sun would be cool. It's freezing. Yes, it would. Here it's been actually it's been quite nice here lately. By the way, just to let people know, Shag B, I just had to allow your comment. His comment is this: mocking those dumb globetards. Now I haven't listed. I don't have a list of blocked words. So dumb is not a blocked word, and globetard is not a blocked word. But I had to allow that comment. Why YouTube so considerate of people's feelings? You know, why is that? Why are they so concerned that dumb people might be offended or globetards might be offended? J. Savoir writes, nice to see you by the way. Mohammed was a nympho sex addict and pedo. Had sex with 11 of his wives and a few sex slaves every day. Sex was all he did all day, every day. No, J. Savoir, I hear what you're saying. Also, he had sex with an 11-year-old girl, or maybe 9, or maybe 10. Questionable how old, okay? Aisha, that would be. But didn't really exist. So Muhammad did not exist. It's like saying Santa Claus, oh, he's got lots and lots of babies all over the world. He's been having sex with all these women on Christmas Eve. Like, no, that's not really true, because Santa doesn't exist. So what you say about Muhammad, same thing, doesn't exist. It isn't true. Same as with Jesus. It's not really, really true. It's just a way of telling a story coherently so people can hear the story, get ideas from the story, and live according to those ideas. That's the purpose. You can't say, oh yeah, and maybe it would be nice if you helped each other. Maybe it would be nice if you saw someone in trouble, you thought, hey, I'll go and help that person. You know, that wouldn't last very long. But instead you said, you know what, there was this superhero. Do you know what made him like a real superhero? This is what. If he saw somebody struggling, he would think, hey, you know what would be nice? If I went and helped that person. That's what he would think, that superhero. That superhero would think, hey, if I see someone in trouble, I'm going to help them. And then the person hearing it goes, oh, okay, oh, somebody in trouble. Wait a minute. The superhero, if he was in this position, he'd help. I'm going to help that person. And then they go and help the person. That's the point. Okay. But then obviously it gets totally corrupted by people saying, and you know what? You should give me lots of money. And things like that. So I just find it also funny. I find it funny. But I also understand that it's necessary. And that's part of why I'm doing this. Yes. Some people need Jesus, some people need Muhammad, because they just don't get it. They don't have that connection. I get it. But those people going around saying it's all Jesus or it's all Muhammad, we have to say, shut up, it's not really. That's just for you. Okay? There you go. Now I'm looking in the chat. I'm now looking for highlighted comments. So if anybody wants me to read a comment, highlight it. I will read it and then I will wrap up. Gilby, bottom part of the rocket looks like fabric. It is fabric. So this is what I think. Oh, I will tell you what I think of a certain virus that's going around too. And this is you won't have heard this conspiracy. But first, about that weird rocket. This is what I think. They're taking funds and they're investing it in necessary things. But they don't tell the people what those necessary things are, otherwise people go, oh no, and freak out, okay? And stop being productive and stop the development of those necessary things by no longer being productive, okay? So they don't tell them. But instead they have to say, and this is why we're taking your money, see, rockets. So they build the rocket, but they're also saying, look, we need a bit more like brain power, okay? So we need to like filter the wheat from the chaff, and we'll just show them the crappy rocket, and then we'll flag up the wheat, and it'll be the guy going, hold on a minute, that's flimsy, that'll never fly. And then we can start paying attention and maybe, you know, find more brains. Okay, that's what I think they were doing with that rocket. Now, here's an idea about a certain virus that's going around. Definitely going around. Definitely going around. Right. Swine flu, bird flu, other H1N1, whatever it was called. All these pandemics that always, oh wait, Ebola, all of these pandemics, they never turn out to be pandemics. Okay? They don't turn out to be pandemics. But that doesn't mean that if they're crying wolf, doesn't mean that the wolf won't come one day. No. It's all a ploy to distract and continue the same distraction technique. There is no real so-called virus. But what if this was what was going on? They know how to manipulate and how to control people by distracting with various different things. And they employ all kinds of strategies. They know that that works. Okay? Let's face it, for one thing, there's not much news about Israel and Palestine killing each other, is there? And that's pretty good. But no, all of this, virus. Okay. What if this was what was going on? The US has a huge deficit against China. Huge deficit against China. Here's China, here's the US in terms of wealth. Okay, so this is not good morale for the US, and then also not good morale for the rest of the world. Okay, so, but China can't help making all that money. It just can't help it. Okay, so how about this? How about if this huge deficit is shrunk down somewhat? How about if it's shrunk down somewhat by China having a kind of virus that makes it like shrink down the disparity between the two? How about if that happens? What would that do? Without killing anyone, what would that do? Well, it would bring down this deficit thing without war, which is the only other way to do this balancing thing. So, what would you rather have? A war or a non-existent virus? Interesting, huh? Huge deficit, China here, US here. But now, whoa. And people say, yeah, but US is going down too. Yeah. It's this, look. Whoa. That's what's happening. Clever, huh? And there'll be people going, US, they don't care about anything. Look at Trump, bad guy. He's just made peace with the Taliban. The Taliban of all people, the ones they went to war against. You can only make peace with your enemies. Can't make peace with your friends. You're already at peace with your friends. You can only make peace with your enemies. Is it good when there are less enemies? Yes. Is peace between the US and the Taliban a good thing? Yes. Would peace between Israel and Palestine be a good thing? Yes. Would peace be a good thing? Yes. At what cost? A fake virus. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And are people dying? Yes, they die every day of this virus. Not a single one. What are they dying of then? Well, they would have died anyway if people hadn't made up this virus. Some of them are dying of the flu, you know, just like they would die every year. Not the same people, obviously. They're not like resuscitated or resurrected to die again the next year of flu again. But that's what's happening. And images of the virus. Ooh, here's the virus. Here's the virus. Like, there has never been a microscope image of a virus. Ever. Ever. Of bacteria, yes. But of a virus, never in the history of the microscope. So, take that. Now, I'm back in the chat. I'm looking. I'm looking. Comments. Gilby, religious cultures prove the young can be programmed to believe anything. Yes, and the majority will continue to function within that operating system until free will is exercised. Gilby, that's right. And that's one of the reasons that they try to curtail free will. Oh, what do you mean you want to stay home and watch cartoons, do some drawing, and maybe go and play with some mud? No, school. That's right, get dressed. Yeah. But school's no fun. Well, it's not supposed to be fun. Well, why not? Why not make it fun? You know, like in Finland. They make it fun. They get the best grades in the whole of the world, including China and Korea and Japan. Better. Best grades in the world. Better than Switzerland with all of that wealth. Best grades in the world. Most highly educated people. Huh. With fun? That's interesting. It's almost like when you make someone interested in something, they become interested in it. It's almost like that. It's almost like if you show the interesting qualities of mathematics, you end up with brilliant mathematicians. It's almost like if you show the brilliant intricacies of philosophy, you end up with great philosophers. Isn't it peculiar? It's almost like if you show someone the beauty of working with wood or metal, you end up with great carpenters and engineers. It's just amazing. Anyway, that's it, folks. I'm going to wrap up now, have my coffee, and let the cat out of the other room. Because just as I was going live, it decided to come and play. So I played with it a little while, and then it said, no, that's not long enough. Play with me some more. So I said, nope. Right, so that's it. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Everyone, good night. I will see you when I have finished the Book of the Sun. The next book. Oof, I nearly said what it was going to be called. The next book, which will be like the continuation to the Book of the Sun. But like the Chinese deficit to the US, the US deficit to the Chinese. Okay, here's the Book of the Sun. Here's the next one, but not really. It's like here's the Book of the Sun. Up there is the next one. Thanks, everyone. I will see you. Stay well. Stay happy. Don't let people get you down. Like really, don't let dividers, smears. Don't. If you let it get you down, you're validating they're employing those tactics. So don't let them get you down. Okay? Okay. Bye, all.